Of dry filled the Christian penthouse. The city outside sparkled through the glass wall. But Jungkook didn't notice his finger flew across the keyboard. His brow tight with focus until the clock of his screen eyes 11:08 p.m. Jungkook signed. Taehyung was still not home again. He leaned back in his chair, losing his tie, staring at the phone on his desk. The last text from Taehyung glowed at the top. Hey, I'll be late again tonight. Don't wait for me. Walking. Jungkook stared at it for a long moment. Then he murmured under his breath, "Walking every night." He pushed away from the desk and stood passing Jungkook first. It was 2 nights a week, then 4, and now every single evening. What kind of work is that? He stopped by the window, rubbing his neck. He doesn't even work at an office. Taehyung was an artist. He painted, did charities, exhibitions, helped with children art programs. He didn't have meetings that instant till midnight, not usually. Something was not edited up. The next morning, Jungkook sat at the breakfast table, staring at the untouched toast on his plate. The house was too quiet. The hung chair was empty, his coffee cup still clean. Mrs. Jian had stopped by holding a basket of side dishes. Mrs. Jian, oh, you look tired, dear. Didn't sleep? Jungkook half-hearted smile. I guess I was thinking too much. She tilted her head. The worries are soft in her eyes. Mrs. Yan, about work or about that husband of yours? Jungkook, you always know, Mrs. Yan. You are my son. I can see through you. But Taehyung is a good man. Jungkook, don't doubt him too quickly. Jungkook, I'm not doubting him. He's been out every night saying he's working, but he looks distracted like something weighed on him. Mrs. Young then asked him, Jungkook softly, I did. He just smiled and said, You'll see soon. Mrs. Young smiled knowingly but didn't reply. She only patted his shoulders. Mrs. Young, maybe you should trust that smile of his a little longer. Jungkook looked away, still unconvinced. Later that day, at his office, Jungkook couldn't focus. He kept staring at the clock, tapping his pen against the desk. Yoongi is his old family friend, and now his elder walked in with file in his hand. Yoongi, if you keep glaring at the clock like that, it might start tickling backwards. Jungkook, you are funny. Yoongi grinned. You look like a man whose husband didn't come home last night. Jungkook irritated. He came home at 3 in the morning. He smelled like dust and point. Paint. Yoongi raised an eyebrow. Paint? Jungkook, yeah, paint. Yoongi is smirking. So you think he's lying? Jungkook after a pause. I don't know. Maybe not. Yoongi, what are you going to do? Detective, follow him around with Jungkook dead serious. Maybe I will. Yoongi laughed so loudly that the secretly also turned her head. Yoongi, you are serious? Oh, this is going to be good. Please record it. Jungkook, Yoongi, this isn't funny. Yoongi, this a little funny. You are jealous of your own husband. Her romantic Jungkook gritting his teeth. I'm not jealous, I am concerned, Yoongi. Concerned that someone else might be getting Do's smile. Jungkook glared, but the corner of his mouth twitched. Yoongi teasing always got to him. That evening when Taehoon came home, Jungkook was waiting by the sofa, pretending to read a magazine. Taehoon walked in quickly, wearing an oversized shirt, sleeve rolled to his elbow, and that soft smile that always made Jungkook's chest feel strange. Taehoon, you are still awake? Jungkook, I couldn't sleep. Taehoon sitting down his bed. Rough day? Jungkook, you could say that. You? Taehoon shrugging. Busy day. A little paint here, a little mess there. Jungkook, paint again? Taehoon frozen slightly, then recovered with a grin. Taehoon, you should try painting sometimes. It's helped with all that falling you do. Jungkook, really, I don't that much. Taehoon, you at your coffee, your files, your shoes. He stopped closer teasing and sometimes at me. Jungkook tried not to smile. Baby, you give me a reason. Then maybe you are working from them. Their eyes met for a second. It was silent, only the fan ticking of the clock between them. Then Taehoon smiled softly. Taehoon, I am working again tomorrow night. Don't wait up, okay? Jungkook jaw clenched. The next day felt longer than usual. Every call, every meeting, every word blurred into white noise. By evening, Jungkook sat in his car, engine running, parked a short distance from their apartment building. He watched Taehoon as Taehoon walked out dressed, casually holding a paper bag of something, humming to himself. He waved to the doorman and got into the car. He told himself it wasn't spite, it was protecting his relationship. The driver stretched across town. The city lights faded slowly, replaced by quieter street light with trees. Jungkook, this wasn't near any gallery or friend studio. When Taehoon car stopped, Jungkook breathed caught. He knew this street, the tall road, Okaya tree on the corner, the brick wall, the mailbox, still chip on the edge. He knew every piece of it. Jungkook's childhood street. Taehoon got out, unlocked and get off a small two-story house and stepped inside with the bag. Jungkook was stopped for a second. That house? The house where he grew up, the house he didn't visit in 10 years since the day his sister Yona died. He frozen, his hand gripping the steering wheel tightly. Why was Taehoon there? Why would he go there of all places? He turned off the engine and slowly stepped out, heart thumping. The window glowed faintly with warm light. He walked closer, keeping on to the shadows until he could see through the front window. Taehoon was inside wearing an old t-shirt, his hair messy, a soft smile on his face as he painted the living room wall. Mrs. Jeon stood nearby, handing him a cloth, laughing quietly. Mrs. Jeon inside. He'll cry when he see this. Taehoon smiled softly. That's the plan. Jungkook blinked, stunned. He pressed closer to the glass, tried to hear more. Taehoon, Yona painted this corner once. Didn't see Mrs. Jeon. Taehoon quietly, then I'll make it bright again for him. Mrs. Jian touched his arm gently. Mr. Jian, you love him so much. Then smiled faintly. He doesn't even know half of it. Outside, Jungkook stood frozen, eyes staring. He didn't move, didn't speak. All the question, the jealousy, the worry suddenly felt small. He turned away slowly, heart heavy with guilt and something deeper, something that hurt and healed at the same time. Later that night, he came home before Taehyung did. He sat on the sofa, staring at the silent room. He whispered softly to himself, Jungkook, you are still doing things for me, even when I doubt you. When Taehyung finally returned, quietly and tired, Jungkook just looked at him. Taehyung smiled faintly. Taehyung, oh, you are awake again? Jungkook, yeah. Pause. I just miss you. Taehyung blinked, surprised by his softness in his voice. Taehyung smiled gently. Then I am home now. He leaned in and pressed a light on Jungkook's cheeks. Jungkook didn't say anything. He only watched Taehyung walk into their room. That same faint scent of paint still lingered in the air. And that night, as Jungkook lay awake, he finally understood what he needed to do. Tomorrow he go back to that house, this time not to spy but to ask. Ask what Taehyung was truly built there. Ask what Yona memory had to do with it. And maybe finally he stopped running from that place. The morning light slipped through the curtain, falling across the quiet bedroom. Jungkook sat on the edge of the bed, fully dressed, staring at his hands. The faint scent of painful hues on Taehyung's head that was dropped over a chair. He hadn't slept much. His thought had circled all night around that one image. Taehyung standing in his old house, smiled softly as he painted over the faded walls. Why there? Why his childhood home? And why without telling him? He glanced toward the closed door of their room where Taehyung was still asleep. For a moment, Jungkook thought about waking him and asking, but something inside him held back. A strange fear that if he asked now, the moment would slip away too quickly. So instead he stood quietly, picking up his coat and left before sunrise. The drive left longer in the daylight. The neighborhood looked smaller than he remembered, but he carried. When he parked near the gates, his chest tightened. The paint of the face was fresh. The little garden by the porch, once overgrown and dull, now had tiny flowers pushing through the soil. He stood there for a long while before stepping closer. The front door was unlocked. Inside the house smelled like wood and something sweet, maybe fresh freshness of the paint, scent of candles. He walked slowly down the hall. Every corner of place was a memory. Yona laughter eager in his mind, her running feet, her voice calling him to come see the stair from her window. He reached the living room and stopped at Taehyung was there. He was kneeled by the wall, his hair titled losingly slipped over the paintbrush in hand. The sunlight from the window made his skin glow softly beside him. Mrs. Jehan sat with the basket of cleaning quietly noticed Jungkook kid. He stood still watching them. Taehyung dipped his brush into a small pot of soft sky blue paint and began trace up on the wall, gentle curved line like wave of or clouds. Mrs. Jian, you really remember what that wall looked like? Tehang smiled. Jungkook told me once, said Nona painted cloud hair when they were little. I wanted to bring it back. Jungkook picked gosh. Mrs. Jian, he didn't talk about that house in a year, not since. Her voice softened, you know. Tehang quickly, I know. That's why I wanted this to be a surprise so he could come back and not feel the paint first, only love. Mrs. John, you think he is ready? Tehang smiled sadly. He doesn't have to be. I'll be here when he is. Jungkook felt his throat tighten. His mother's soft laughter mixed with the faint sound of paintbrush. It was like listening to a dream he didn't know he needed. Then, before he could stop himself, he spoke. Jungkook, so this is where you've been walking. Taehyung jumped slightly, turning towards him. His eyes widened, then softened almost instantly. Taehyung, oh, you are early. Jungkook tried to stay calm. You didn't expect me. Taehyung, oh, not today. Not yet. He stood slowly, wiping his hand on a cloth. I wanted to tell you when it was finished. Jungkook, you were fixing this house all this time? Taehyung, yes, gentle smile. Do you like it? Jungkook looked around, then clean floor. He repeated window. The sunlight, split curtain, everything looked alive again. But his voice came out small. Jungkook, why didn't you tell me? Taehyung hesitated. Mrs. Jian quietly stood and gave Taehyung a small pat. Mrs. Jan, I'll be in the kitchen. She left them alone. Taehyung turned back to Jungkook, his voice soft, careful. Taehyung, because I know you say no. Jungkook, of course I would. Hey, this house, he looked around, swelling hard. This place isn't just a building. My sister, Taehyung, Yona, Jungkook nodded. She died here in that room upstairs. I couldn't step inside again. Taehyung, I know. Jungkook frustrated. Then, oh, why bring it back? Taehyung quietly, because you never let yourself heal. The room fell silent. Jungkook stared at him, unsure how to respond. Taehyung, you told me once that this house was your favorite place. You said Yona made it feel like the world was okay even when it wasn't. But after she was gone, you burned it all, the good with the bad. He walked towards Jungkook slowly. Taehyung, I thought maybe if I fix it, if I made it look like how she left it, you could come back here without feeling broken. Jungkook shaking his head. You don't get it, Thay. This place, it's not something to fix. Then tell me, what is it? Jungkook was cracking. It's her. Every inch of it, every waltz, every sound, every smell. I hear her laugh when the wind hits the door. I see her shadow in the hallway. You can't just paint over that. Taehyung eyes softened, pain flickered behind them. Taehyung, I wasn't trying to erase her. Jungkook, then what were you trying to do? Taehyung quietly bring her back. That stopped Jungkook cold. Taehyung took a step closer, voice trembling slightly but steady. Taehyung, not really her, but what she meant to you, what she made you feel. The love that been burning under all that guilt. He glanced around at the soft blue walls. Then I thought if you saw this place again, maybe you remember that love doesn't disappear just because someone does. Jungkook swallowed hard. Jungkook, you talked to my mom about this? Taehyung, yes. She told me a story about Yona, about how you used to sit under the window and draw stars on the wall. Jungkook whispered, "See me how to draw them." Taehyung, exactly. He smiled faintly, so I painted them back. He pointed the wall, paint a tiny star, the phrase, "something inside." Jungkook broken open. He walked closer, his hand trembled slightly as he traced one of the painted stars. Jungkook softly, it's the same shape. The young Mrs. Jian remembers, she said Yona used to make them with 5 uneven points. Jungkook's lip parted, but no words came out. He stood there for a long time, just staring at the wall, that one he used to avoid even in his dream. Then he turned back. "Jungkook, I thought you were hiding something from me." Taehyung smiled sadly. "You were half right, Jungkook. You made me think." His voice fluttered. "I don't even know what I thought. I was jealous. I was angry." Taehyung teasingly tried to erase the tension. "Jealous of who?" Jungkook rolled his eyes. "Don't start." "Taehyung, you followed me, didn't you?" Jungkook didn't answer, which was answer enough. Taehyung laughed softly, shaking his head. "Taehyung, you are unbearable, Jungkook, and you were acting suspicious." Taehyung stepping closer, "and you were acting adorable." Jungkook tried to glare, but the corner of his mouth twitched. The air between them shifted from unfabric. He took a breath. "Jungkook, I should be trust you." Taehyung, "It's okay." He smiled gentle. "You trust me now." Jungkook, you shouldn't have done it alone. Taehyung, "I wanted it to be perfect. Every corner, every wall. I wanted it to tell you that you still have a home, that she still lives there." Jungkook, "and I ruined it." Taehyung finally looking at him, his jaw tense. "Taehyung, you hurt me, Jungkook. Not because you yelled, but because you didn't trust me. I think you thought I hid something ugly from you." Jungkook, teary, "I was scared. You were acting distant, and I think so. You follow me like a detective." Jungkook, "Yes, and I was a fool." Taehyung sang softly, shaking his head. "Taehyung, you are lucky. I am too tired to stay mad." There was a pause, heavy but filled with something unspoken. "Jungkook, you once told me love is patience." Taehyung, "I did." Jungkook, "Then I failed you." Taehyung, "No, you just forget what it means." Jungkook took another step, now standing right in front of him. Rain dropped from Taehyung's hair, dropped his cheeks, and Jungkook wanted so badly to wipe it away. Jungkook, "Taehyung, I don't deserve you." "Taehyung, you do. You just have to remember why we started." Jungkook blinked. Jungkook, "Why did we start there?" Taehyung smiled faintly. "Taehyung, because you spilled coffee on me during that charity event, and instead of apologizing, you gave me your business card and said you own me dry cleaning." Jungkook let out a quiet laugh. His tears. Jungkook, "You still remember that?" Jungkook, "Of course, it was the start of your bossy charms." They both laughed softly. The tension erased a little. After a moment, Jungkook said quietly, "Jungkook, come home with me, please." Taehyung, "Which one? The new apartment or the one you've been avoiding?" Jungkook, "That one you've been fixing. The one Yona loved." Taehyung looked surprised but nodded slowly. They walked back together in silence, figure lightly, their breath steadying. When they entered the house, it was quite except for the soft sound of the rain. The scent of fresh paint mixed with old wood filled the air. Jungkook, "It's beautiful." Taehyung, "It's not done yet." Jungkook, "It doesn't need to be. It already feels like home." He walked towards the living room and noticed a large painting covered with the white cloth. Jungkook, what is this? Tehang, her dreams. He gently pulled the cloth away, revolving a bright sunset sky flower. Two kids holding hands. Jungkook frozen. Jungkook, that's me and Yona. Tehang softly said, in your diary when you were 10. You showed it to me once, remember? Jungkook felt tears rise again. Jungkook, you remember it, every little thing. Tehang, you don't forget what mattered to someone you love. Jungkook turned to him. His eyes, I'm sorry for doubting you, for being jealous, for not seeing your heart. You were hurt. I understand. Jungkook, no, I hurt you. You gave me love and I gave you suspicious. He stepped closer, voice trembling. Jungkook, I love you. You hear me? Not just because you are my husband, but because you carry my heart better than I do. Tehang eyes softened. He took Jungkook's hand and whispered, Tehang, I love you too. Jungkook, always have, even when you glare at me like a jealous cat. Jungkook laughed weakly. Jungkook, you noticed that, huh? Tehang, oh, everyone did, even Yoongi. They both then fall into a comfortable silence. Tehang brushes Jungkook's cheeks gently. Tehang, don't cry anymore. This isn't just memory of loss. It's proof that your love stayed. Jungkook and slowly his forehead against Tehang. Jungkook, let's stay together. Tehang always, and then Jungkook him. It wasn't rush. It was slow, gentle, full of everything they hadn't said. Apology, love, relief, homecoming. When they finally pull apart, Jungkook whispered, Jungkook, you are my home now. Tehang smiled, and I am never walking late again. Jungkook, that night they cuddled around the room. Mrs. Jeon and Yoongi stopped by with dinner, smiling only but saying nothing. When everyone left, Jungkook and Tehang stayed together by the window, hands behind them in the candlelight. Yeona's smile painted in the sky above them. Jungkook, she would love you. Tehang, I hope so, because I love everything she loved. Jungkook smiled at Tehang's shoulders. Jungkook, happy anniversary. Tehang softly, heavily. Homecoming. Jungkook, the rain finally stopped, and for the first time in years, the old house felt warm again.